Stories are of different categories. Here I am presenting one example of story writing. Name of the story is A Tailor and a Magician. If you enjoy, don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Once a tailor and a magician met together and talked on various topics. The tailor talked on his poverty and said, "I know only one trade. If this trade fails, I am undone." "I pity you, my friend," said the magician. "But things are not so bad with me. If one trick fails, I have 100 tricks more to help me." "You are very lucky," said the tailor. "Don't envy," replied the magician. "If a bad time should ever come to you, just tell me, I'll help you." Days in and days out, and a bad year of famine did really come, and people suffered horribly. The tailor still lived by his honest means, as people could not go without clothing. But the magician, with his 100 tricks, could find no customer, as people had no penny for that. He moved about promising to eat fire or to vomit pins, but still none cared for him. At last, in extreme misery, the magician came one day to the poor tailor and said, "Friend, my pride has been humbled. Give me something to eat, if you can. I am starving." Moral of the story is, honest profession is more precious than 100 tricks. Thank you. Here is the another example of storytelling and story writing. Name of the story, A Clever Judge. But before I start, if you enjoy this, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. One day, a rich man lost his purse. He thought that the purse had been stolen by one of his servants, but he could not detect the actual thief. Then he made a complaint before a judge. The judge summoned all the servants, but all of them denied the charge. The judge then hit upon a plan to detect the thief. He gave all of them sticks of equal length and asked them to submit the sticks on the following day. He also told them that the stick of the thief will increase an inch by the magic touch of his judgment stick at that time. All the servants went home and kept their sticks as it was. But the servant who stole the purse reduced the length of his stick by an inch. Next day, when all the servants submitted their sticks to the judge, one stick was found shorter by an inch. The thief was easily detected and sent to jail. Moral of the story, one cannot hide one's misdeed by tricks. Thank you. Dear friends, if you enjoy, please like, share and subscribe the channel. And here is another example of storytelling and story writing. Name of the story is The English Sailor and the Caged Birds. In a war with France, an English sailor became a prisoner. He was confined in prison for several years. When the war came to an end, he was set free. He came to his homeland and felt very happy. One day, when he visited a bird shop in the market, he bought all the cages full of birds. He opened all the cages one after another and set all the birds free. The bird seller was surprised to see the strange act of the man. He asked him, "Why have you spent so much money for nothing?" The man replied, "When I was a prisoner of war, I always longed to be free, and see my near and dear ones, so I can feel the miserable condition of the birds. I have therefore spent a little money to set them free. Moral of the story: freedom is more valuable than anything else. Thank you. Here is one more example of an interesting story. If you enjoy, don't forget to like, share and subscribe the channel. Name of the story is Newton and his dog. Sir Isaac Newton was a great scientist. He had a little dog named Diamond. One day, he went out of his room, leaving his little dog asleep before the fire. For 20 years, he was hard at work, studying a most difficult subject. On the table lay a heap of papers on which he had put down the findings of his research of 20 years. When his master left the room, little Diamond woke up, jumped on the table and overturned the lighted candle. The papers at once caught fire. Just when the papers had been completely burnt, Newton opened the door of the room. He saw that the fruits of his 20 years' labors had been turned into a heap of ashes. There stood Diamond, the cause of all this mischief. Almost any other man would have killed the dog on the spur of the moment. But Newton patted the dog on the head with kindness, although his head was full of grief. He said, "O Diamond, Diamond, thou little knowest what mischief you have done." Then he patiently set to work again. Moral of the story: patience is the strength of character. Thank you.